Swarna Bharat Parivar, after setting many records in the world, achieved another milestone in the process of creating new dimensions. Took another commendable step in the service of the society, which is not only making the future of the people, but also making their dreams come true. The purpose of Swarna Bharat Parivar is to fulfill the dreams of such people who have never got any stage in life. Swarna Bharat Parivar fulfills their dreams by helping such people to reach their goals of life. Swarna Bharat family created another record in Jaipur, a city called Pink City, 280 kilometers away from the country's capital Delhi. On the soil of Rajasthan, the Swarna Bharat family honored more than 200 people in different fields. Through International Internship University, Swarna Bharat Parivar has given standard titles to 56 people for their special works. To commemorate the birthday of Ma Roshni Lal Ji, which is celebrated on 8th August, scholarship of Rs 1 lakh was given to 21 students in the convocation event held on 28th July 2021 under Ma Roshni Lal International Scholarship Scheme. These scholarships plays a very crucial role in boosting the morale of students and fuels them up to learn more.
आज का प्रोग्राम बेसिकली 3 चीज़ों पे निर्भर है। ज़रूरतमंदों को एजुकेशन कैसे दी जाए, एजुकेशन कैसे दिया जाए। वर्चुअल एजुकेशन सिस्टम आप लोगों ने नोटिस किया होगा, देखा होगा कि कोविड की महामारी कुछ नए अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ लेके आई हुई है, उसमें से वर्चुअल एजुकेशन है। तो वर्चुअल एजुकेशन का कॉन्सेप्ट हम लोग लेकर आए हैं, इंटरनेशनल लेवल पर लेकर आए हैं और 195 कंट्रीज़ में रन कर रहे हैं। भारत देश का एक को फाउंडर है, जैसे कि आप लोग मुझसे मुखातिब हैं पहले से ही, कि पीयूष पंडित को फाउंडर की गिनती में आते हैं आपके IIU यूनिवर्सिटी के। और ऐसे ही ऑस्ट्रेलिया के हमारे को फाउंडर्स हैं, वहाँ से काम कर रहे हैं। काम करते करते पता नहीं चल रहा है कि ये कितनी तेज़ी से विकसित हो रहा है। इसमें कोविड का कुछ लोगों का हाथ मानना है ऐसा, लेकिन मैं इस बात से इत्तेफाक नहीं रखता हूँ। कोविड होने के बाद भी वर्चुअल एजुकेशन सिस्टम बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से चलेगा। इसके पीछे एक सीधी सी वजह है कि व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू लर्न टुडे, आप तुरंत पा सकते हैं उसको एक क्लिक पे। ये एजुकेशन का जो सिस्टम है कि आपको कहीं जाके एडमिशन लेना, फिर आपको उसकी डिग्री मिलना, ख़त्म हो गया है। मैसिव ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज एक ऐसा कॉन्सेप्ट है, मूक टेक्नोलॉजी, जिसके माध्यम से आप इंटायर वर्ल्ड की किसी भी एजुकेशन सिस्टम को फॉलो कर सकते हैं। चाहे आप कैम्ब्रिज से आप कोई कोर्स कर सकते हैं, चाहे ऑक्सफोर्ड से कर सकते हैं या IIU से कर सकते हैं। आपको पता होना चाहिए कि देश में मैसिव ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज पे करीब हमारे पास 4 से 5 ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म हैं जो वर्ल्ड वाइड फेमस हैं। आपने कोर्सेरा का नाम सुना होगा। तो कोर्सेरा एक ऐसा कॉन्सेप्ट है कि जिसके थ्रू आप कोई भी कोर्सेज कर सकते हो। IIU के माध्यम से फ़ायदा ये होता है आपको कि आप रियल टाइम एजुकेशन लेते हो। एक प्रोफेसर उधर से अपनी वीडियो अपलोड करता है और आपके पास पहुंचती है। आने वाले भविष्य में प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटीज़ भी पूछेंगी कि आप इतना फ्री एजुकेशन सिस्टम को कैसे प्रमोट कर सकते हो। तो अभी आप ये समझें कि एक्सेसिबल करने की कोशिश की जा रही है। सभी सरकारों से बात चल रही है कि हम एजुकेशन में, जैसे अभी सारे कोर्सेज हमारे मूक टेक्नोलॉजी पे लॉन्च है। मूक इज़ लाइक दैट कि सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स, SDG लेवल पे कोर्सेज, और डिग्रीज़ के लिए हमें क्या है, हर एक कंट्रीज़ की जो ऑथोराइज सिस्टम होता है एजुकेशन का। जैसे भारत की बात की जाए तो UGC आपने सुना होगा, UGC मान्यता देती है यूनिवर्सिटीज़ को। तो अभी हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी UGC मान्यता प्राप्त यूनिवर्सिटीज़ से टाई अप करती है कि हम आपके यहाँ की एजुकेशन को वर्चुअली प्रोवाइड करेंगे दूसरे को। आने वाले समय में हमारा प्रयास ये है, आप ग्रेजुएशन करना चाहते हैं, आप पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन करना चाहते हैं, या किसी भी यूनिवर्सिटी से रिकॉग्नाइज्ड आप डिग्री लेना चाहते हैं, तो वो डिग्री इंटरनेशनल इंटर्नशिप यूनिवर्सिटी की ही वैलिड होगी। ये हमारा प्रयास चल रहा है। लेकिन 2 कॉन्सेप्ट हैं विश्व में पढ़ाई के, एक प्राइवेट सेक्टर और एक गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर। आपको पता होना चाहिए कि अगर आप UGC रिकॉग्नाइज्ड यूनिवर्सिटी से नहीं पढ़े हैं तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आपकी अपॉर्चुनिटी ख़त्म हो जाती है। विश्व का एजुकेशन सिस्टम ऐसा है जहाँ पे कि आपको पता होगा कि 95% लोग प्राइवेट सेक्टर में काम करते हैं और प्राइवेट सेक्टर में काम करने के लिए आपको यूजीसी रिकॉग्नाइज्ड या किसी अन्य ऐसी इंस्टीट्यूशन से, गवर्नमेंट लेवल से आपको कहीं मान्यता लेने की आवश्यकता नहीं होती है। वहाँ ज़रूरत होती है कि आपके अंदर टैलेंट क्या है। ऑक्सफोर्ड का बच्चा इंडिया का आईएएस का एग्ज़ाम नहीं दे सकता। हमारे इंडिया का पढ़ा हुआ लड़का कैम्ब्रिज में जाता है पढ़ने के लिए और ग्रेजुएशन करके यहाँ आता है तो वो आईएएस नहीं बन सकता। रीज़न क्योंकि यूजीसी मान्यता प्राप्त उसके पास डिग्री नहीं है, इंटरनेशनल वैलिड डिग्री है। लेकिन ये इसलिए आगे बढ़ती जा रही है प्राइवेट लेवल की यूनिवर्सिटीज़ क्योंकि 95% युवा, 95%
When you think about university, you think of a building, books in the library, classrooms, students roaming around, teachers, and a huge fees to get admission. Imagine a university which is not fixed at one place, where students can study at their own ease, at their desired locations, where the curriculum is updated with the technological changes, and focus on the true things which matter in life. The university which focuses on developing mindset. The university which develops skills. We are talking about the contemporary education mechanism, the virtual university. International Internship University believes in inspiring, inventing, igniting young minds, cultivating excellence in every student by enabling accessible education at their own ease through virtual internships. Virtual internships act as a gateway to a world of knowledge application that was previously held behind closed doors for the fresh graduates. The ability to meet, speak, work and collaborate with industry professionals from a diverse range of fields, such as engineering, business management, humanitarian fields, and much more, delivers insights that the students can foster for a lifetime. It bridges the ever-so-glaring gap between the demands of the corporate world and the pride of academia. We invite applications for PhD, Doctorate in Literature, Doctorate in Science, LLD honors degree from experienced personnel in various disciplines who have rich experience in their respective fields. The program is offered only to a select group of accomplished individuals. As a professional, a degree or additional degree will allow you to make a greater impact. The expedient way of showing the world your knowledge, abilities, experience, and talents is with your degree and use of your titles.
A very good morning, afternoon, evening, salam, namaste, bonjour, and guten morgen to the August gathering from all over the world. From time immemorial, the commencement of every auspicious occasion has always been with the Almighty's blessings, and the lighted lamp symbolizes the Supreme Lord Himself. They say, Suraj Prakash Roop Bhagwan. So let's learn together, gather our strengths together, and let's pray together to the Almighty for the success of the event. May we play the video, please. May we have the prayer song, please.
गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
What a pious start to the event. On behalf of the members of the IIU management, team and self, I, Preeti Futela, moderator of the day, an educator first and then an administrator by profession, Microsoft certified educator, Microsoft master trainer, MI expert, Adobe education leader, extends a very warm and cordial welcome to the dignitaries from all over the world. Also, to the ever enthusiastic audience, the global change makers, like-minded educationists, to the 8th day of the IIU's first International SDG conference. I'm gratuitous to be moderating this event and be a part of this historic ICDGS conference. It is time to introduce and welcome our SDG committee members, trustee of IIU, and co-founders of IIU, who are working tirelessly day and night, fulfilling the vision and mission of IIU, the new era of education. Under the leadership of Ms. Roshni Lal, trustee of IIU, Mr. Piyush Pandit, founder and chief operating officer, India, Mr. Stephen, co-founder, Australia, Ms. Mona, co-founder, Indonesia, Dr. Satnam, co-founder and vice president, Honorary Degrees Council, UK. Now the SDG committee members, Dr. Kalyani Rao, SDG head of IIU International, Ms. Nada Ratkovic, Croatia, Dr. Pratibha Mishra, President International Advisory Council of IIU India, Dr. Prachi Gaur, Country Director and President Training and Development India, Snigdha Kadam, Director Academic India, Rabia Bhatia, India. The Advisory Council, Dr. T.P. Sasikumar, former Deputy Director General, former Deputy Director, Directorate General of Security, Cabinet Secretariat, Government of India, Director UGC Academic Staff College, Calicut University, Kerala, Scientist, Advanced Data Processing Research Institute, Hyderabad, Program Planning and Project Management, ISRO, Headquarters, Bangalore, Space Application Center, ISRO, Ahmedabad, Professor and HOD, Business Administration. That's wonderful. Dr. Vijay Kumar S. Shah, Padma Shri Awardee, former advisor, Ministry of Health, Government of India, President, NRI, Welfare Society of India, President, Community Welfare of India, Global Convener, Gandhi Peace Foundation, Nepal, World Governor, Peace and Diplomacy Organization, Organizer, Dental Health Service, recognized by Government of Maharashtra, Coordinator, De-Addiction Campaign, and much more. Also, in Advisory Council, Dr. Pratibha Mishra, President, International Advisory Council of IIU India, and Dr. Parin Somani, Independent Academic Scholar, UK. I once again welcome IIU management and team. Today, the 8th day of the conference is dedicated to SDG 7, affordable and clean energy. So before I invite the eminent speakers, I'm sure, dear attendees, you all must be curious to know more about the IIU. IIU, the International Internship University, is building a better and brighter future for all young learners and committed to provide better and virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. IIU is reconstructing the conventional education system by cutting down the additional costs and providing access to more than 10,000 courses and internships to their e-learners across 195 countries and 6 continents throughout the year, with over 150 offices around the world. May we have a big round of applause for IIU, dear all. Now, talking about the SDGs, I want to throw some light on them. Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Thus, IIU invited all the interested stakeholders, innovative SDG leaders, schools, colleges, universities, organizations, government, and non-government organizations for goal-wise deliverables. Today, we will be witnessing the plethora of ideas and knowledge delivered in different languages by experienced speakers, the change makers who will become a part of this historic conference showcasing the SDG goals aligned with the 5 pillars. By the end, I am very sure that we all will have many new competencies and tactics that we put into action right away. And I am happy to be a part of one such conference, which is a boon to our society, brought to us by the collaborative efforts of the co-founders of IIU and Mr. Piyush Pandit. Big round of applause, dear audience, for Mr. Piyush Pandit and the team. So without taking much more time, I would like to give introductions of our highly experienced speakers who will enlighten us with their inspiring words. But before that, my sincere request to all the speakers in the meeting to turn on their cameras for a smooth conduct of the program. The schedule of the program will be 4 speakers would be sharing their ideas one after the another. So first 4 on my list are, I'm just going to announce the name, Dr. Divya Basin, India. Ma'am, are you present in the meeting? Mr. Sumit M. Dargan.
Very much here.
Thank you. Ms. Padma Shiv Ram Rajguru, India. Maybe, please, may I request you to please open up the camera so that I can see you. Mr. Jitesh Khanna, India. All right. So I don't see Dr. Divya Bhasin in the meeting. So I'm going to call out the first speaker as Mr. Sumit Dargan from India. Mr. Sumit is Masters in Commerce. He's the founding principal since May 2019. Mr. Sumit has been into teaching for the last 3 decades and has held various administrative positions for almost 20 years and has a vast experience in varied types of schools, boarding, day, Indian, international, established new co-educational and single gender, and 4 different curricula, IB, ISC, IGSC, and CBSC. He's a qualified Microsoft certified professional and also an assessor with the National Accreditation Board for Education and Training, NABIT, India. Welcome to the conference, sir. Over to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so greetings to one and all for whatever time of the day or evening we are all at. And yeah, it's quite different when you have someone speaking before you, but suddenly when you're brought up to the fore, your sort of thought process changes, but please bear with me. The topic today that we have, I think, appeals to each one of us and cannot be more relevant in these times. Strangely, or the way it is designed, today is the 8th day, but we're looking at the 7th goal, and there is, I'm sure, a purpose or a method behind that. But when we look at the aspiration of having good, affordable, clean energy as a goal, it's obviously 3 keywords that we take away out of this particular situation. We've been championed as humans to look at something that is affordable, reliable, and sustainable and modern. So let's break each of these in our understanding of what that means, because the sense of affordability is very different and very diverse within each particular micro unit that we may look at. For a family, the word affordable in the middle class community in India, in the urban, in the rural, in the tier 2 townships could mean different. It could mean something very, very different in the North American region. It could mean something quite different in South Africa, because there are weather conditions that are applicable on it. There are elements of our economic and social conditions that are impacting it. And therefore, the word affordable is as vast as you would want to imagine it. There are countries which have certain standards of what you ought to afford and what affordability means. In certain countries, for example, we have witnessed that vaccination is more a matter of their right and not a privilege, whereas certain other countries are dealing with it much as a luxury or a privilege, where their governments are making ends meet and somehow managing those resources for them. So let's take a step back and understand. And I would like each of you to sort of, in your own minds, try and understand, when we look at it from India's perspective, being one of the larger nations in terms of population on this planet, and definitely being the largest democracy. 75 years ago, when we set about getting or gaining independence from the British, our ability to generate energy, which was clean, efficient, affordable, was almost non-existent. Today, where we are at, we are way, way better. But yes, as one of the poems usually says, miles to go before we sleep. But something that probably in this segment of progress and development that countries have gone through, and not just India here, we have lost sight of one of those goals which as a country we had considered as very, very vital. And that was to develop clusters of small communities who would make ourselves independent, or would live in a manner where things are not interdependent on each other. So where is it that the affordability of energy comes into it? If each one of us in our own way tries to do a calculation, and there are many, many tools today, thanks to technology, which are accessible on your devices, on your phones, on your laptops, etc., which will give you a healthy indicator of how much energy do you use and how carbon footprint friendly are you. If each one of us took a conscious decision to start cutting that down by 5%, trust me, in the next 9 years, at a rate of 5%, we can bring this global average down by 45%, which is way beyond the expectation that the UN has set for all of us as a global humanity. And it is possible if we all put our minds to it, if we put our thoughts into action on each of these. And yes, there are multiple solutions that exist. Let's look at the aspect of modern energy here. What does the word modern energy draw into our perspective in this particular situation? Something which is sustainable. We started today's session with the auspicious blessings of Lord Ganesha. In our context, whether religion or otherwise, he is perceived to be the Vignaharta, someone who helps each of us to overcome the hurdles and obstacles that come in our lives, which are part of growing up and part of our lives in any case. But when we look at the overall situation globally, we are blessed to have an unlimited source of energy bestowed upon us 24/7, and that's the sun, the nearest star on our planetary system. The world still has a long way to go in tapping the energies of this particular resource, which is almost inexhaustible and is a blessing for each one of us. How we find better ways and means, I think, is a matter which the two worlds that we live in, the world of haves and the world of have-nots, still need a constant dialogue and understanding to come to the same page about. What we do know is there are ample models available of unsustainable energy models and systems, which the Western world has unfortunately created for itself. The per capita consumption with which they have continued to use energy, clean or otherwise, has brought this planet into a catharsis of sorts. The expectation, therefore, cannot only be left on those who have the responsibility of now embracing energy, but also equally on the ones who have continued to use that energy and now need to tone it down a bit. Most of us are privileged, for example, to have air conditioning systems in our homes, and we think that is an absolute necessity. Yes, it is. But are there better technologies to make them work? Are there other solutions which exist which would cut down the energy consumption that we could get out of it? So that's something which continues with the help of science and technology and will continue to improve. But the hurdle is not the tech. The hurdle is making that technology accessible to the least common denominator of our society. Today, there are multiple tiers of patents and various other restrictions which do not allow first world technologies to reach the common man, the people who could actually really benefit from using that technology. And I think that is where, when we see empowerment in the right sense of the SDG goals, is where society has to continue making more effort and create voices, create opportunities, just like this particular platform. And I'm delighted that this is the first ever international conference talking about SDG goals, moving them from voice to choice and from choice to action to make this into a reality. The other aspect of energy is that it should be reliable. I think we have had experiences as human society of some unreliable and risky techniques through which generation of energy has been done over a period of time. We are getting better at it. No one denies that. I think the way nuclear power plants work today is way, way better if we reflect on the pre-Chernobyl days, where the world went through a very, very terrible situation, probably an avoidable one, probably not. But yes, today the world is possibly a better place because we have learned from some of those lessons. We have learned from the lessons in Japan of what happens if those kind of situations are not healthily managed. But I think what Mahatma Gandhi aspired for in the 40s and was part of his book on his experiments with truth is a very important takeaway for each one of us to experience in our lives. He strongly propagated the thought of Kutir Udyog, which means micro industries or small village industries, which would be sustainable within that community and would allow opportunities to be completely independent of these mega grids and so on and so forth that the world has been extremely busy creating, but realizes that they cause a lot of transmission and distribution losses. But apart from that, cause many, many more facets of poor consumption patterns or unhealthy consumption patterns amongst us. I think if each one of us works on the principle that we need enough for our need, then I do not suppose we will require to reach a point where we try and satisfy anybody's greed. I think the world is going to be a better place once we come to that understanding, and opportunities like what we have right now are the correct forum through which this voice can be more openly and more vocally exercised across the world and influences each one of us in our small capacities as educators, as listeners, as family members, as policymakers, as educators in the larger domain of managing professionals, to make this a policy which actually sees itself being implemented. Simpler things, for example, uh, come in the domain of how we cook our meals. How much are we dependent on fossil fuels, and where are those alternatives of alternate fuels which we can make use of, whether they come from the solar source like solar cookers, whether they come from biogas, which itself is a wonderful source of energy if we want to use it in a properly directed manner. Each country, each community has solutions which need to be encouraged. There is no one size fits all. There is no one approach that works for the entire human society. And I think in that, as educators, most of us understand what differentiation means. When you approach that differentiated ability, you will find the solutions coming from people themselves. I think the challenge is now to get out there. Yes, there is this little hiatus because of the pandemic, but once we are past that and successfully past that, we find ourselves embracing better ways of living. The world has taken some very important lessons in this period when it has paused, and hopefully paused and reflected judiciously to make this into a happier place for all of us. So with that hope, I hand over the podium back, and thank you very much for hearing my thoughts.
Thank you, sir. That was really, really wonderful. You have set the stone rolling. Our thinking gaps are on. What we think are luxuries for us, yes, these are necessities for some homes. There is a difference of have and have nots. What luxuries we are enjoying at our homes, and it is really sad that some people do not have that basic amenities of as simple as electricity at their homes. Thank you. Thank you. So next on my list is Ma'am Padmaji Shivram Rajguru from India. Ma'am Padmaji is MSc in Software Engineering, CEO of KP Industries, MGM College. Over to you, ma'am. Ma'am, are you muted?
Sorry. Good evening to all, and I'm really thankful for this opportunity. Today's topic is that is the future. Whatever we are seeing, the energy, and we know that we learn from the school and in colleges also. The solar energy is the biggest source energy, and I would like to point out that points whatever where is the India in renewable energy, and what is the future for that. I would like to um, make some sharing with that points. Like we know that the solar energy is the biggest source, and we will utilize that source in different ways. And I'm very relate with the sir whatever they are speak here. I think that the India is the renewable energy sector in the fourth and most attractive in one renewable energy market in the world. Means India is now at the second and third range in power, uh, in solar energy and in wind power, and fourth at renewable power installation capacity. So I think that the renewable power generation increasing fastest from last 5 years in India, and India had 95.7 gigawatt renewable energy capacity. So renewable energy there is having a lots of advantage at India, because of we know that our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also supporting for the renewable energy. So there is having some advantage like robust demand, increasing investment. There is having a lots of policies support, and there is having a lot of competitive advantage market also nowadays at India. If we see the Tata industry is also providing a lots of training program nowadays related with the solar energy and the relate with the all renewable sources. If you see the robust demand, in June 2021, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi started the renewable energy capacity in India, increased by 250% in between 2014 and 2021. And the most of the demand come from the real estate and transport sector. If you see in real estate also, and from the transport sector also, the most of the we using the e-vehicles nowadays. We invented the e-buses nowadays, which is they are running by using the solar energy also. There is also a lots of increasing in investments also, like the non-conventional energy sectors are there. And with that, the convention sectors in between April 2000 and March 2021 means there is having a lot of growth. It's near about 10.2 US dollar. By 2028, India can see the investment worth rupees $500 billion dollars in renewable energy at India. So I think that the government of India is also supporting in villages also regarding with this renewable energies plants, solar plants, like power winds and lots of things. So I think that these are my some technical points which I would like to share with you all. And thank you so much for inviting me today here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing some wonderful insights. Thank you once again. Next, may I call upon Mr. Jitesh Khanna from India, BA English Honors, entrepreneur, philanthropist, multi-awardee, leader, mentor, motivator, speaker, writer, and social activist. Mr. Jitesh Khanna.
Thank you so much, Iiu, and thank you so much to all the wonderful people who spoke before me and all the wonderful people who are here right now. So I'll keep it very short, crisp, and fun. This happens to be my favorite topic since I'm already into renewable energy. I'm into solar energy. I have my own solar farm since 2014 in Bikaner, Rajasthan. And I think nobody here can vouch for solar energy more than I do. And I know what the challenges are right now. Very beautifully, Sumit discussed a lot of things about patents and how the technology has to reach to the common people. Man before me spoke about the that would go into solar energy. But we have to be very honest here with each other right now. India is highly dependent on coal, and we are one of the most polluted countries in the world. In fact, in my city, Delhi, sometimes it's difficult for me to breathe in the day. In my own house, I have to wear a mask. There was a time, thanks to the pandemic, the carbon emissions have gone down, so things are better, bearable. But let's keep it very honest here. We are sitting on a gold mine of renewable energy, and we have lost the key to the lock. Why I say this is because currently, no matter how much the government is supporting the renewable energy sector, there has to be action. There has to be policies, robust policies which are extremely dynamic. Now, a few things that I'll share with you is that right now, majority of India work depends on coal. And if you see, most of our India lives in the rural area, and they use dung, and they use bioenergy, and they use all sorts of other things to produce energy. Now, I always tell people that the oil is gone, the era of industrialization is gone, the information age and the energy age is coming. So believe me, India can be a powerhouse in terms of clean and renewable energy. So when I say clean and renewable energy, I primarily talk about solar and wind energy, and both I talked wind corridor energy, but solar sun. So your efficiency is better. The solar cells produce more electricity more efficiently. But overall, you can put a solar panel anywhere in any part of India and produce electricity. We are also waiting for solar panels to become better and better and more efficient day by day. So just to keep it more fun, I have three important things that India needs when and global nations, Asian nations. We are all together in this. We're like one people together in this. I'm a man who doesn't believe in boundaries. I believe a boundaryless world. I believe we are one big tribe. So one part of the world learns it, the other part needs to learn it. Or one part makes a progress, the other part also follows. So the most important thing and the first and the foremost is that we need to build thousands of gigawatts of solar and wind power at an unprecedented rate. We need to really, really start working on it right here, right now, which is not happening. We are building solar plants, but it is not happening. We need to involve youth and smaller manufacturers, smaller investors and entrepreneurs into solar. I think government should start solar parks where youngsters can come and invest in solar technology or solar farms and have reap benefits. So that will be a great way of people putting their money into solar power. The another and the most important thing is EV. So India is slowly transitioning towards EV. But if you see, if you want EV to grow, you need to have EV charging stations. In fact, smaller nations like say New Zealand has a better EV charging station set up now. They're working very hard on it than India, and then a lot of other nations. So we need to have solar charging stations to have EV. The future is not internal combustion engine. The future of oil is gone. It is the time of electric vehicles. The third and the most important thing that I want to talk about is we need, like Sumit sir said, we need to have radically energy efficient technologies. Right now, if you have 5 ACs in the house, the bills shoot up. Right now, if you have certain appliances going on in the house, the bills shoot up. So we need to produce very, very efficient. And I feel very sad. India has the best engineers in the world. In fact, if you pick up any company from Apple to Google, they have majority of Indian engineers, software engineers, hardware engineers, all sorts of engineers. And we still in India, we are not doing inventions because the government has to have these policies where the brain train stops. We youngsters stay here and we should put more of our energy in R&D. So we need to produce energy efficient air conditioners. So if you understand right now, the rural areas, very few people have ACs. By 2050, almost the entire rural area will shift to the cities. And this would happen in most part of the world. People are already doing that. A lot of people are telling me that when you go to the villages, half the village is missing because everybody's in the city. They're trying to earn a living. Now they will want air conditioners, they will want electric vehicles, they would want cars. So the need for solar or the need for energy say is going to go that greater. I'm not very pro nuclear energy. In fact, I'm a peace activist. I'm absolutely against anything nuclear. I know a lot of people disagree with me and they say it's a very efficient way of producing massive amount of energy, but there's a massive amount of chances of things going wrong. Look at Japan, what happened, or Chernobyl, what happened. And for me, human life is far more important than all these things. I am absolutely against weapons, and that's one of the reasons nuclear energy also is something that is off my charts, is away from my So one of the things that I want to really, really focus on is that which can if you see in a solar farm, you need a huge amount of space to produce 1 megawatt of energy, and then the more the panels are, the more space you need. So if we can have solar panels which are smaller, which can be put into rooftops, which could be put into the balconies, because nowadays we don't have rooftops. People are shifting to apartments, and the only thing that they have is balconies. So if we can have smaller solar panels that can produce electricity, so we need tons of R&D in this. And I think 5 to 10 years of R&D would be wonderful. We'll have grow leaps and bounds. So this transition that I'm talking about from coal to renewable energy has to happen at a very unprecedented rate. And mind you, African nations, India, certain Asian nations, We have so much of human resource. We have so much of youth. I think if I would talk about my own country, India is the youngest nation in the world. 60 to 70% of our population, probably more than that, is youth, youngsters. And imagine the kind of resource we have. We need to just train them. These youngsters are looking for training into renewable energy. They are looking for new technologies. They're looking for funds for R&Ds. So instead of getting huge conglomerates and businesses into these sectors who can afford all this, why not also push youngsters into solar energy and renewable energy? So that is what I wanted to talk about. I don't want to take much time, but if you really want to tackle air pollution issues, if you really want to tackle, and if you want to be prepared for 2050 is going to be time we'll need massive energy. We'll have to start it at a very unprecedented rate. And India and the African nations and the Asian nation. And why I only talk about India, Africa, and Asia is because our time is now. Our time has come. We are at the cusp of this great revolution where human resource is going to produce massive amount of change in the world. And we have youngsters, and we have aspirate, youngsters who are highly educated or who really want education right now, who are hungry for growth and success. This is our time now, and this is the time where we can really collaborate with the UN, we can collaborate with the Western nations, and they can come forward and support us. So if you really want renewable energy, and if you really want clean energy to expand, we need to focus on things like developing the best infrastructure in India. So in India right now, the problem is we have solar plants coming up, but we don't have efficient grid technology. There's a lot of grid failure that happens because we have old dated grids. We need to improve the grids. So instead of talking about policies and talking about reforms, we need reforms on the ground. I think that's what we need to do, and we need younger people in the politics. We need people who are really want to change in decision-making bodies. And that is how things are going to change. So just to keep it very crisp and short, I wanted to just highlight on these things. I can go on and on about this because I'm into this business since 2014. I know every inch of it, every side of it. I know it like the back of my hand. But if India really needs to grow, it has to start unprecedented, construction of solar power plants and involve youngsters into it and young entrepreneurs into it. We can also have a local partnership system where locals who have barren lands can be used to produce solar electricity. It could be a wonderful project. So there's a number of things, but there are a lot of people waiting right now to speak. So this is my part. This is what I wanted to speak about. And I'm really, really bullish about us. We as Indian subcontinent, we are it is our time to the world, how working we are, and how much into the best place to start energy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, yes, we need to tap our resources to achieve this SDG goal number 7. Thank you for your inputs. Now about the courses of IIU. IIU is united in its commitment to provide exclusive free education to all the children and to the youth of this world. Under this global hub, IIU has been accredited and affiliated with the World Education Organization and collaborated with all the world's top universities and educational institutions through the platform of Massive Open Online Courses, MOOC. IIU is providing various certificate, diploma, graduation, post-graduation diploma, post-graduation courses, and honorary doctorates. IIU has received many accreditations as per international standards for their innovation, vision, creative ideas, research, white paper publications, as well as national patents. So now I would like to share a short video giving an insight about the courses offered by IIU.
What is education? Books, Classes? Teachers? Schools? No. Education is not that. It's beyond this. Education is a term that we have grown up listening to since we were kids. Right from the beginning of childhood till this very moment, we have been surrounded by education and its need and importance. A luxury for the rich. A necessity for the bread earner. A dream for the underprivileged. An aspiration for the suppressed. A distant reality for the inaccessible. The primary objective of education is to impart knowledge. Education also has its fair share in building the thinking capacity of people's minds. Hence, education supplies people with knowledge and facts and also encourages them to integrate that acquired knowledge into practical and professional lives via necessary training. Education thus also plays a primary role in supporting the economic, social and cultural sector of a country. It's a way to change the future today. The current education system can make people easy to lead, but difficult to drive, is either all academic, all physical, all virtual or all costly. Also, it makes easy to govern, but impossible to enslave. We cannot win over the future by sabotaging our present with extreme disparity. Iiu takes great pride in saying that we're bridging the gaps in education system. We're not just academicians, but also practically oriented. We're not just limited to virtual classes, but also physical exposure. We do not dig a hole in the pockets of the students and their families. We're everything that traditional education hasn't been. Iiu has already implemented and promoting the MOOCs technology. When we talk about MOOCs technology, it stands for Massive, Open, Online Courses. The word massive is to be understood in the sense that 100,000 learners or more at the same time have open and equal opportunities to attend these courses. MOOCs are truly a tremendous technological leap, and what makes them so attractive is that they don't imply any cost to learners. Iiu has tied up with more than 100 universities to provide more than 10,000 courses to the students, free of cost, with the help of MOOCs technology. We're a revolution in the making, a wind of change. Education is much more charming and intriguing than the temptations of distractions unnecessary. Our education policymakers must look into the problem to make a better system which is more practical and provides hands-on learning to the students. Who are we? The International Internship University is a virtual university with state-of-the-art curriculum, real-life industry exposure, amazing student attention, learning-oriented resources, and most of all, a commitment to make the world a better place. Why do we exist? We exist to fulfill the necessity of the bread earner. We exist to help underprivileged achieve their dreams. We exist to fuel aspirations and accessibility. We exist to provide everyone the luxury of being capable of changing the world. We really do exist to ignite young minds and make them the torchbearers of tomorrow. For a better future. For the legacy of everyone who's left us. For the hope of everyone who's yet to come, and for the growth of everyone who walks this beautiful planet. We invite you to join our world-class educational team and platform with an altruistic dedication to creating the future. The change is so big that it would potentially impact millions across the world. Millions of children and youth around the world cannot wait any longer. Please join us in our effort to create the virtual learning generation of Iiu. We're Iiu, we're change. Welcome to our world, a new tomorrow.
Thank you so much. The next speakers, may I request all of you to open up your cameras. I'll call out the names. It is Miss Nguyen from Vietnam, Mr. Picus Edim from Ghana, Mr. Edwin from Ghana, and Mohammed Mohiuddin from Bangladesh. May I request all of you to mute your mics. I call upon Mr. Edwin Akaukau from Ghana. He's a Bachelor of Business Administration. Mr. Edwin,
Okay, thank
floor
you
is all
very
yours.
much.
Please come. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think I'll just go straight to the point and just make it short. So we all know that the world is narrowing its targets in achieving a net zero goal, net zero emission goal. So my point will be on what actions we should take and what opportunities it will bring to the world, especially in Africa. So we need to, as part of the actions we need to take, as most of the speakers have narrated already, we need to adopt renewable energy sources, solar, hydro, wind, and other renewable energy sources. But here is the case in Africa, especially in Ghana, we make use of the hydroelectric power a lot, and still people are not connected to electricity, making lives difficult for others. So we need much investment into renewable energy, other renewable energy sources, solar and wind, to be able to connect these communities. And how do we invest into it? We need to encourage the study of renewable energy in our universities and other institutions. Students are really ready to study about renewable energy and its implementation. And also, we need to advise the other professional firms who are consultancy firms to provide renewable energy advisory services to these international firms to be able to invite them into our continent for these works to be done. By this, we are able to connect these communities to electricity to make their lives better for them. It is not enough to make the policies and just leave them hanging. We need to take action because our planet is on a time bomb. We all know the consequences of these emissions on the global climate. So we need to adopt renewable energy sources in our daily lives. And by these ways, as I've mentioned, we'll be able to achieve this net zero goal for a better and green planet. And I think this will be my submission for this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Edwin. Rightly said. May I call upon Mr. Gadam Ashok from India? Mr. Gadam Ashok, if you are at the meeting, please. Mr. Osiya Dabo, Ghana. Mr. Osi from Ghana. Dr. Khushbu Kumari. Dr. Khushbu Kumari. All right. So I take privilege in calling Miss Daisy M. Galgana from Philippines.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. She is a licensed professional teacher, speaker, host, trainer, senior high school teacher, Department of Education, Philippines. Ma'am Nguyen, I'll just call upon you after Miss Daisy, please. Miss Nguyen from Vietnam.
Yes, I'm here.
I have called upon Miss Daisy, so after her. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, so good evening, everyone from the Philippines. Okay, I'm so happy to be here. Allow me to thank the co-founder and COO of IIU. Okay, so we have Dr. P.S. Pandit for this great opportunity, that is given to me. So I'm very honored. It's really such an honor to be here tonight with you guys. Okay, so the Sustainable Development Goal number 7 is really something very significant to everybody. This is ensuring affordable and clean energy worldwide. So because as we all know, energy produces large amounts of greenhouse gases, which largely contribute to climate change and air pollution, while also having harmful impacts on people's health and well-being. Therefore, by transitioning to clean energy, electricity will be produced with fewer negative health and environmental impacts. So today, some poor countries, they are getting more access. So we are happy to hear that they are getting more access to electricity, which is important because without electricity, these countries, they are unable to fuel their economies. Okay, so now I am an educator actually, and by teaching my students or our students about this affordable and clean energy, they will be able to understand the importance of conserving energy and why this SDG really matters. Okay, so students will learn about how moving to clean energy will combat climate change and understand how hundreds, millions of people worldwide still do not have access to electricity. And of course, our ability to access and use energy is likely much different from the ability of others around the world. So one thing we do share in common with every other person on this planet is how we choose to produce and use energy that impact the entire planet. So we should work together, okay, to ensure energy equality, where everyone has access to the energy they need to live, they need to work, grow food, and do other things that are essential to their well-being, while at the same time ensuring the way we produce and use energies that doesn't harm our planet. This is really significant. That is why the world leaders, they are trying to solve these challenges and gaps. And young people nowadays, our students, they have a very vital role to play with this matter. So based from what I have read, leaders from around the world, from other almost 193 countries, they have agreed to ensure access, affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all people. Okay, so by this goal, Sustainable Development Goals, these are really something to be prioritized, because these 17 goals, they are interconnected, that seek to transform our world by ending all forms of poverty, eliminating inequalities, and improving the state of the world's natural and human-made environments through sustained international cooperation and collaborative efforts over the next years to come. So by learning about taking action and teaching others about the need for affordable and clean energy around the world, our students, they play really a valuable leadership role in helping to accomplish this goal number 7, as well as the other sustainable development goals. Still, as we can see, children nowadays, we don't want them to study when it's dark. It enables also different crops and foods really this is something very important to them. No, modern fuels for cooking and heating relieve women from time-consuming drudgery and danger for traveling long distance to gather woods. That will no longer be. Okay, so development over the past decades has had significant impact on increasing global energy access. Okay, so this is really something that we should look behind. But some parts of the world still they lag behind. 3 billion people rely on wood, on coal, on charcoal, animal waste for cooking. So using these types of fuels, sometimes heating increases indoor air pollution, which is very harmful to our health. Therefore, we are really responsible for a lot of people were killed because of this pollution. So sustainable energy, we should have this sustainable energy for all. Energy is the dominant contributor to climate change, accounting to global greenhouse emissions. So the effects of this really gas emissions are shared by all around the globe according to the global goals. Now, in reducing the carbon intensity of energy is a key objective in long-term climate goals. Developing and making available sources of low carbon and renewable energies to more people will help reduce carbon emissions and their harmful effect on our planet. And of course, providing energy more people around the world. Okay, so women who are primary users and managers of energy in many household chores globally, no, they are more likely to conserve energy than men. That is according to my readings. No, so sustainable energy for all. Okay, so I am very happy that I was given this sustainable goals number 7 to ensure access. We all have to take our own actions. Thank you very much.
Very rightly said, ma'am. Yes, be the change you want to see. Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, I call upon Ms. Nguyen Thi from Vietnam.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a Bachelor of Arts, a researcher, teacher of English faculty of postgraduates at Vietnam National University. Welcome, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much for bringing this chance to me. Excuse me, madam, can you give me chance to share my screen?
Yes, please. You can share your screen. We'll just see.
Okay.
Ma'am Nguyen wants to share her screen. Are you able to do so, ma'am?
Yes, I want to share my screen with my PowerPoint.
Can you share the screen? Try doing that.
Yeah, let me try. Oh,
Yeah.
not that. I can. Yes, the screen announcer host disabled participants screen sharing. So I'm not the host. I can't share my screen. I can't still share my screen now. Excuse me.
Pratibha, could you help her? I'm not a co-host and I can't give her permission.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I can share now. Thank you. Yes, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see your screen. Yes, we can.
Yes, thank you so much for having me share screen. My share, I say that my share is not a presentation about the goal 7 among the 17 sustainable development goal. Today we focus on the goal 7 affordable and clean energy. So in my talk, I would like to focus on three main things. The first one is what are the affordable and clean energies, and why do we need to focus on affordable and clean energy? And the third one is to answer the question, how can we solve the problem? Let's start first with the question, what are the clean energy? Generally, we refer clean energy as I think alternative or renewable energy such as solar, hydro, wind, tidal, geothermal, or some yes, class energy. And to move to the second point here is answer to question, why do we need to focus on the clean energy? We know that as Miss Daisy has as a pocket, clean energy is a very, very important part of our life, because mostly every day's activity we need energy like electricity and something like that to elevate any our activities. So we need to ensure access to affordable and reliable and sustainable and modern energy for all people. However, the status of using energy in the world are somehow concerned, because we can see the figures on my screen that now say our 9 out of 10 people worldwide have access to electricity. It means that not all people, it means that 10% of people around the world cannot get access to electricity. And among these figures, we see that 87% of the 840 million people without electricity live in rural area, and they are more vulnerable people. And another figure show that on average of 2.3% of people in the world use less energy was needed to create this. Yes, and moreover, 3 billion in the world lack access to clean cooking fuel. So we need to find a way to help them to find clean energy. And we know that all the kind of clean energy, and I have ever mentioned as available. I mean that it's available, and we don't need to buy it like solar energy, hydro energy, and some other ones. And however, we see that most of our energy consumption come from some non-renewable energies that are coal, oil, natural gas, or nuclear small amount, mostly are from the non-renewable energy. And we know that the way we exploit coal, oil, natural gas is polluted to the environment seriously. So we need to find a way to move to other renewable energy that is focused on with very small, very small amount. Yes. So how can we solve the problem? Now we move to some solution and plan. The first one, I think most of us here knows of 5 targets by 2020 that is set by the many actors. The first one is by 2030. We need to ensure the universal access to affordable, reliable, and modern energy services. The second target is by 2030, we need to increase substantially the share of renewable energy in the global energy mix. And the third one is by 2030, we need to double the global rate of improvement in energy efficiency. And the fourth one is By 2030, we need to enhance international cooperation to facilitate access to clean energy research and technology. And finally, the fifth one is by 2030, we need to expand the infrastructure and upgrade technology for supplying modern and sustainable energy services, especially in developing countries, in rural area or island area. And I think my country, Vietnam, a developing country, is included in this program. Yes. And besides that, we need to create a renewable energy plan, and many researchers and authorities have made a general plan for global. The first one is that solar energy could account for 5% of global demand by next year, 2020, and up to 9% by 2030. And then by the year 2050, our energy needs can be met by 95 renewable energy. Yes, it is we can say that it is a big leap. Yes, if we can do that. And in Africa could run on 100% renewable energy by 2050, because we know that Africa is a land with plenty of solar. Yes. And also, over the last 40 years, the price of solar photovoltaic panel has declined 90%. That is a foundation to develop and expand more uses of the solar energy. And energy creates 3 times more jobs than fossil fuel. It is a very important reason in employment to appease the worker and employer to investigate more in this area. And therefore, the investment in renewable energy has a surpassed fossil fuel investment. I think that is a good news. That is a good news for us to hear. And we also see that in the world, many countries have invested in renewable energy, and they are Germany, the UK, Sweden, Spain, Italy, Brazil, Japan, Turkey, Australia, and the USA stands the most 9 countries that use renewable energy use. Yes, and although I don't focus on this part today, however, as a role of a teacher, I think one plan that should be created and designed for our next generation is the way we educate our students, our children, and the people around us, like Miss Daisy has mentioned before, to help them make aware of the need to make sure affordable and clean energy. And before ending my talk today, I would like to send you a quote that we need to join hands and to make our earth sustainable together. Yeah, thank you for your listening. I'm very happy to join you. Yeah, to hear from many of us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Beautiful message. Let's join hands, build a sustainable earth together. Definitely. Wonderful message sent across. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We all have that one teacher in our life with whom it feels that all will be well. Whatever he or she says is engraved on stones for us, and unknowingly that one teacher makes a difference in our life. That one teacher or one personality is that personality who introduces new changes and leads the new generation of leaders. IIU will be soon starting teacher accreditation courses, and you all, dear educators, can avail the opportunity to become a global recognized teacher. Thus, all the great teachers present here today can represent their country on an international level. Global teachers will get 1-year training from IIU The global teacher recognition not only leads to personality development, training of the teachers for international level skills development, and sound knowledge of the technology used around the globe, but will also lead to viable earnings through all these developments. Other than this, I would like to share one more thing with all of you today. That is Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan National Teacher Award 2021. Swarna Bharat Parivar is organizing a ceremony to honor teachers, principals, and persons associated with educational institutions, social concerns at the national level, proposed as a virtual summit in New Delhi on September 5 and 6 on National Teachers' Day. Eminent educationists, social personalities of the country will participate in the function. If any one of you are eligible teachers, principals, and educational institutions, social workers for the above awards in the eyes of any of the great person, then please do send the following information. Information for the registration will be soon shared in the chat box. I just want to add to this that a great teacher will always make a great nation. Now, moving forward, I would like to share a glimpse of accreditation by IIU. Can we have the video, please? Thank you.
Join us to make a difference in the orbits of education. We are the change. We are IIU. Are you a K-12 school offering a top quality education? Are your students getting global exposure? Is experiential learning and innovation a part of your curriculum? Are your teachers internationally certified educators? Are you able to identify your learners' potential and expose them to compete globally? If the above questions do not sound optimist, then the clock has struck to get accredited and affiliated by IIU. You think of strategies, training, competitions, we offer it. You want to interact with an expert team of educators, we possess it. You want to be exposed to learning at a global platform? If yes, you have embarked at the right destination. IIU's International School Accreditation Board. Let's put some light over accreditation, what it is. Why do we need it? Simply put, accreditation is value. In today's challenging world, it is extremely important that institutes or schools be accredited and approved with the institutes, meet certain standards. Accreditation assures employers that the graduates of an accredited institute are ready to face challenges and rigors of the modern world. The students who graduate from accredited institutes and schools have access to enhanced opportunities and employment and global mobility. IIU accreditation affiliation has no bars for any boards like state boards, CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, IB. IIU accreditation affiliation has created an arena for learners across the various countries and continents throughout the globe. What are you waiting for? Apply now. IIU's International School Accreditation Board.
Thank you. I call upon the next set of speakers. First on my list is Dr. Khushbu Kumari. Dr. Khushbu Kumari from India is MA. She is a government teacher from Miss Janipur, Shahakund, Bhagalpur, Bihar. Dr. Khushbu Kumari, floor is all yours. Welcome, ma'am.
Good evening, namaste to all of you present here. I'm Khushbu Kumari, and first of all, I want to thank SBP for giving me a precious chance to speak about one of the major concerns regarding energy resources. As it is known that the growing requirements of electrical energy are increasing rapidly, for which we are losing our non-renewable source of energy. Of course, using electrical energy for activities of daily living is better than the uses of natural environment, degrading elements like threatening nuclear reactions, coal, natural gas, and several fossil fuels, including gasoline. But dear friends, just imagine the number of harmful waste emissions during the production of electricity, which is done by the utilization of these non-renewable resources of energy. And the effect of this phenomenon is almost invisible to us because we are only thinking about using electrical energy as a clean substitute of fossil fuels. But the adverse effects are showing their reflection as a poor air quality index and increasing contamination of water, as well as increasing radioactive level of dumping ground of radioactive particles. On the other hand, the limited presence of non-replenishing resources is one of the major concerns, as our reliance on fossil fuels. Fossil fuel is unsustainable, and if uses of these resources will not be controlled, then intention is the concern. Hope I will meet the global goals by telling you about the major targets. First, we will have to make sure that by 2030, the universal access of modern energy must be accomplished, which can be done by education, by educating people about modern and clean energy, so that it can be accessible to all without any hesitation. By 2030, the share of renewable resources in the global energy mix must be increased, as it was only 10% in 2018. Third, increasing efficiency by reducing the uses of energy and upgrading the old equipment with the new one. Fourth is promoting access to research, technology, and investment in the infrastructure of clean energy. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The next speaker I would call upon Mr. O.C. Yadabu from Ghana. Mr. O.C., he is a Bachelor of Science degree in Environmental and Safety Engineering from University of Mines and Technology. Over to you, Mr. O.C. Yadabu. Mr. O.C. All right, I'm just going to announce the speakers who have not yet spoken. Dr. Divya Bhasin, by any chance, has joined us. Mr. Gadam Ashok. Mr. Muhammad. All right. Respected educators and friends, I would like to share something about the Golden Book of Earth. Golden Book of Earth will comprise research, innovation, experience stories, articles by 101 great educators who have inspired the world. It will be the encyclopedia of knowledge. In these tough times of pandemic, educators all over the globe are putting in their best to provide education to every learner despite various hurdles. It is the first golden book on the earth describing the expressions of the educators, which will make the history. It will be published by International PR and Research Publishing House, Iiu-UK. It is a great opportunity for each one in the sector of education, be it the educator, principals, teachers, edu leaders, to express yourself. Be the change that you wish to see in the world by sending your nomination. Just grab the opportunity and be one of the 101 great educators who have been able to inspire the world. Last date of submission being 20th September 2021. The decision of the reviewing committee will be final and irrevocable. There is always that one person who has the vision, the thought, the idea behind a successful venture and organization. The person who is behind the success of Iiu. It is our beloved co-founder of Iiu, Mr. Piyush Pandit. Any words would be less for him. Thus, sharing a short video to give all of us an insight to the life of this visionary man. So, before moving over to the video, please.
Piyush Pandit was born on 27th July 1987 in Pratapgarh, Uttar Pradesh, in a middle-class family. Piyush Pandit is that name who is recognized by his multiple work genres: an international social activist, award-winning social worker, serial entrepreneur, and founder of SBP Global. He has determined his destiny by having trust in him and Almighty God. Piyush Pandit is a diligent and passionate social worker committed to serve the humanity. Piyush Pandit has played a crucial role in crafting a team of volunteers and achieved global recognition as head of Swarna Bharat Parivar Trust, which span across more than 50 countries. He granted several live interviews and press conferences on rural development, access to justice, and the right to equality. Piyush is youth leader with extensive social work experience, political activism, and stellar entrepreneurial achievements. When you think of social work and changing the world by improving human experiences, Piyush Pandit comes to mind. He is proactively mentoring other social activists to encourage social activism and entrepreneurship around the world. He is working fiercely towards achieving United Nations sustainable goals in India and over the globe. Under the flawless leadership of Piyush Pandit, Swarna Bharat Parivar Trust was established. The organization strives to place the humanity at forefront and bringing back the human warmth which has lost due to busy modern life. They are fighting to ensure ending poverty, unemployment, and making society better for all. Rural India has been a focal point of Piyush, which gave birth to Help India Help Foundation. The social work continues and the e-village was established in 2012 to reinforce India's roots in villages and villagers. At the crux of Piyush's work is the youth. He believes that youth empowerment is closely aligned with social service. Piyush is the CEO of Piyush Group. The organization covers several industries including renewable energy, logistics, real estate, and so on. Piyush Pandit has succeeded in scaling the growth of these organizations, and his work has taken them to the multinational level. Piyush is able to form and sustain positive relationship with people. He has received a plethora of awards and recognitions in 2018 with India's Great Leader Award, India Star Book of Records in 2019, GTF World Summit Bangkok 2019, Volunteer Hero, Abad Samman Samaro, Blood Donation Award, Environmental Sentinel Award, Yuva Gaurav Samman, and Literature Confluence Award. Piyush Pandit believes in the philosophy of growing together. His slogan is, "Let's grow together and create tomorrow's entrepreneur." He has the vision to create a society that is based on freedom, equality, solidarity, diversity, and fairness.
Dear all, I would like to draw you.
Excuse me, unmute your mic. Yes, unmute your mic, please. You are mute.
I'm sorry. Thank you for telling. This is to draw your attention to the chat box. These participants, are they present in the meeting, the speakers? Please come up. It's your turn. Mr. Gadam Ashok, Dr. Divya Bhasin, Mr. Pikus, and Mr. OC. Ms. Mohammad Moyuddin from Bangladesh.
You are muted, ma'am. Please unmute.
I am typing the names. If you are in the meeting, please come up. Also, you can all take your certificates. You can please give your attendance in the link given. So I think I have written all the names. Those who have not spoken for the day, who were supposed to speak up. I'll just check once more, please. Is Mr. OC in the meeting?
Miss Preeti, you can proceed.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. So before moving further, I would request all the participants in the meeting to switch on their cameras for the group photograph, please. It's Kodak time. So let us all say cheese. So can we have all in the meeting to please open up their cameras? Thank you. Can we have the somehow wherein everybody can be seen together on the screen, such like view? Okay. Okay. Gallery view. All right. Yes. That's wonderful. May I request the IT team to please click the picture? once more. Those who have not yet opened the camera, please open up the cameras so that everybody can be seen together. Okay, I think I'll.
Done, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So it's time to conclude this wonderful conference. And indeed, we have witnessed some new ideas, techniques, ventures about the 7th SDG. Thank you all, dear speakers, for the wonderful insights. What a blessed day it is today to have you all amidst us. I would like to call upon Dr. Parnami. Is Dr. Parnami in the meeting?
Dr. Pareen. She's Dr. Pareen.
Okay, sorry. Dr. Pari, is she in the meeting, please? Dr. Pari?
I think she's not there. You can call out me. I don't mind giving.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So I call upon our ma'am, Pratibha Mishra ma'am, to give the vote of thanks. Floor is all yours, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Priti. And thanks to lovely viewers. And I appreciate each and everyone for taking out such a precious time from your valuable, busy schedule, I can say. I'm not saying that you all were free, so you are attending the conference. This conference is meant for everyone. And we all have witnessed one of our friends from Vietnam. She has really done a good job by doing a research. She has given a data which is very much important for all of us to know. And very best message she has given to all of us, and that will be a great message for the young generation. So this is what the motive of IIU, this is what the motive of this conference, why we all have gathered here. This because we want to bring a change. As one of our eminent speakers, she said very nicely that if you want to be a change, be a change. So that is how. So if really you want to bring something in your universe, you have to contribute either in a form of your time, in a form of your resources, because you are the person who will bring this kind of change. And I'm really very, I can say we are glad to have our founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit, whose vision is so clear, what we are not even thinking about, and he has seen that vision, long lasting vision, what we can say. And that is how he thought of organizing such kind of conference, which will be a great message for each and everyone. And I feel we all should contribute. We all should join our hands together, and we all should. And I really appreciate Mr. Charles, since day one, I've seen very religiously, he is the only participant I've seen very religiously. He joins sharp on time, and he is the last to leave. That shows his dedication, and these things needs a dedication. So I really appreciate, it's a big round of applause to Ms. Charles. And there are many participants I have seen, they are attending all the, all days conferences, which shows that they are keen to learn. They want to bring a change in the society. And every day there is a learning from so many eminent speakers. There are so many takeaways. And I feel Mr. Charles is a big example for it, because in the chat box, he wrote that we are enjoying, we are learning, and we are using that in Nigeria. That shows the person who is really interested will take some or the other thing, because we always share our experiences, we share our ideas, which helps to bring a change in the universe. And I really appreciate all my co-founders. I appreciate all my team members for joining hands together to bring a change. And thank you so much, dear Preeti, for moderating lovely session. And I appreciate your efforts too. And I appreciate all my team members of the IT department. They have done a fab job without any flaws. They have shown the lovely videos, which is a message giving videos. It is not a just video, it is a full of messages, full of knowledge, and full of hard work and dedication, which we all should take it from it. And if I feel we all must have done it. So many of you are learning, many of you are sharing your ideas, as Mr. Jitesh said, that we all have to really work, and then only we can bring the change. And that this is how the eminent speakers are putting efforts, and those who couldn't. But still, I feel if you are interested, you can always share your abstracts, whatever you want to share. We can extract those and we can put on our website. That will be a great learning for the coming generation. Thank you so much. And please be humble, be polite. Sustainable development goal talks all about. So just keep contributing to the society. Whatever
Thank
you're
you.
getting from the society, give more than what you have. So
Thank you
thank you
very
so much once again for lovely viewers, audience, my team members, and each and everyone, those who all are present here. Because of you, we could make this event successful. Thank you so much, each and everyone. Namaste from India.
Thank you very much. Thanks. That's a good one.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Miss Preeti, we can wind up now. Preeti, you are muted.
Thank you, ma'am. You've said it all. So it was a great session indeed. Lovely insights we've got. Yes, we have to be the change makers. We have to see the change. We have to be the change that we want to see. Thank you. Thank you all.
So
See you
Thank
tomorrow again with
Thank you.
new
Thank you very
SDG,
much.
new goal
It's a great
to achieve.
program. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Requested all the participants kindly leave the meeting. Requested all the participants to kindly leave the meeting. I request all the participants kindly leave the meet.